Monday, October 1. The Consequences of the Fall. The consequences of the fall were enormous. The disobedience of Adam and Eve started the rupture of a harmonious interdependence between all forms of life. Even worse, it started the disunity, discord and divisions among human beings that exist even today. The disharmony is seen immediately in how Adam and Eve sought to put the blame for the fall on others, as we read in Genesis 3:12 and 13. Then the man said, "The woman whom you gave to be with me, she gave me of the tree, and I ate. And the Lord said to the woman, 'What is this you have done?' The woman said, 'The serpent deceived me, and I ate.'" Things have become only worse since. Question. Read Genesis chapter 3, verses 16 to 19, and chapter 4, verses 1 to 15. What in these verses reveal the results of sin and its impact on the harmonious world God had created? Genesis 3, verses 16 to 19. To the woman he said, "I will greatly multiply your sorrow and your conception. In pain you shall bring forth children. Your desire shall be for your husband, and he shall rule over you." Then to Adam he said, "Because you have heeded the voice of your wife, and have eaten from the tree of which I commanded you, saying, 'You shall not eat of it,' cursed is the ground for your sake. In toil you shall eat of it all the days of your life. Both thorns and thistles it shall bring forth for you. And you shall eat the herb of the field, in the sweat of your face you shall eat bread, till you return to the ground, for out of it you were taken, for dust you are, and to dust you shall return." And Genesis chapter 4, verses 1 through to 15. Now Adam knew Eve his wife, and she conceived and bore Cain, and said, "I have acquired a man from the Lord." Then she bore again, this time his brother Abel. Now Abel was a keeper of sheep, but Cain was a tiller of the ground. And in the process of time it came to pass that Cain brought an offering of the fruit of the ground to the Lord. Abel also brought of the firstborn of his flock and of their fat. And the Lord respected Abel and his offering, but he did not respect Cain and his offering. And Cain was very angry, and his countenance fell. So the Lord said to Cain, "Why are you angry? And why has your countenance fallen? If you do well, will you not be accepted? And if you do not do well, sin lies at the door, and its desire is for you, but you should rule over it." Now Cain talked with Abel his brother, and it came to pass, when they were in the field, that Cain rose up against Abel his brother, and killed him. Then the Lord said to Cain, "Where is Abel your brother?" He said, "I do not know. Am I my brother's keeper?" And he said, "What have you done? The voice of your brother's blood cries out to me from the ground. So now you are cursed from the earth, which has opened its mouth to receive your brother's blood from your hand. When you till the ground, it shall no longer yield its strength to you. A fugitive and a vagabond you shall be on the earth." And Cain said to the Lord, "My punishment is greater than I can bear. Surely you have driven me out this day from the face of the ground. I shall be hidden from your face. I shall be a fugitive and a vagabond on the earth, and it will happen that anyone who finds me will kill me." And the Lord said to him, "Therefore, whoever kills Cain, vengeance shall be taken on him sevenfold." And the Lord set a mark on Cain, lest anyone finding him should kill him. Adam's disobedience became the source of many events and consequences that over time affected all of God's creation. The natural world itself began to suffer from the consequences of sin. Human relationships also were affected. Cain and Abel, two brothers, who should have loved and cared for each other, were estranged because one wished to follow his own selfish inclinations instead of following God's prescribed mode of worship. This estrangement resulted in violence and death. Cain's reaction, however, was more directed at God than at Abel. He felt angry toward God. We read about that in verse 5 of chapter 4. And this anger led to resentment toward Abel. Disobedience further ruptured human relationships. Genesis 6:5 reads, "Then the Lord saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every intent of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually." This evil ultimately led to the flood and to the incredible devastation of God's original creation, left in the flood's wake. But even then, God did not give up on the human race, but left a remnant, Noah and his family, to start again. After the flood, God gave a promise to Noah and to his family. The rainbow in the sky always would remind them of his care and promises, of his kindness and mercy, as we read in Genesis chapter 9, verses 10 and to 17. "And God said, This is the sign of the covenant which I make between me and you and every living creature that is with you for perpetual generations. I set my rainbow in the cloud, and it shall be for the sign of covenant between me and the earth. It shall be, when I bring a cloud over the earth, that the rainbow shall be seen in the cloud. And I will remember my covenant which is between me and you and every living creature of all flesh. The waters shall never again become a flood to destroy all flesh. The rainbow shall be in the cloud, and I will look on it to remember the everlasting covenant between God and every living creature of all flesh that is on the earth." And God said to Noah, "This is the sign of the covenant which I have established between me and all flesh that is on the earth." And Isaiah 54, verses 7 to 10, "For a mere moment I have forsaken you, but with great mercies I will gather you. With a little wrath I hid my face from you for a moment. But with everlasting kindness I will have mercy on you, says the Lord, your Redeemer. For this is like the waters of Noah to me. For as I have sworn that the waters of Noah would no longer cover the earth, so have I sworn that I would not be angry with you, nor rebuke you. For the mountains shall depart and the hills be removed, but my kindness shall not depart from you, nor shall my covenant of peace be removed, says the Lord, who has mercy on you." God instituted a covenant with Noah and reinstated his original plan to have a united human family faithful to him and his word. And so to finish today, what are the ways that sin brings disharmony? What choices can you make right now to help restore harmony among those whom your choices can impact in a powerful way?